Yo guys, and welcome back to another video. Daredevil Born Again Season 2. We're going to talk about episode 5 and 6. Sorry I couldn't talk about episode 5 last week. But yeah, let's go baby. We're going to start with episode 5. And just before I start, man, this poster they just dropped, I think today. Marvel UK, absolute peak. Like the show, absolute amazing. And the show, I will say, is, as I said, man, I said it in my first 2 episodes, and I said it before as well in my trailer reactions. This show is going to be amazing. Like, I know which directors are handling this. I know who's handling this. The reason season 1 wasn't good, because it was a bad showrunner was running it. They got it off him, and then they had to keep some episodes, and it was like a mismatch. Like, we know what happened with the Daredevil whole story, but obviously the general public don't know what happened with season 1. So it was a lot of mismatch. Whereas this one, finally, those showrunners didn't have to go with a mismap, and they could literally go with the vision, and you can see how well it's going. And yeah, and I will say each character that they also bought in the last season feel more weight in this season. And I think when something's gonna happen, you feel more better because the way they developed them. One of my favorite characters so far going is Buck. Apart from the old ones, I'm talking about the new ones, is Buck. Buck's character, the calmness he has inside him in episode 5 and episode 6. I want to start with that first, with the little side characters quick, and then brush over them and then go with the main guys. Buck and Daniel's whole car sequence was so well done. The only thing I feel a bit like is they already spoiled it in the trailer with the shovel or thingy because stuff. If they didn't do that, it would have been like bigger. Like, oh my god! And the first I thought, also, I think which could have been madder was in the boot is BB, but no, it was the other guy who already shot in episode 4. And damn, and like the whole, like even in episode 6, Daniel knows that BB is behind. He has his suspicion, and he's quite sure that he is behind all of this. And even Daniel knows that BB is doing all of that stuff. And in episode 6, he confronts her as well, and all of that stuff. He's like, "Don't do it." And then I think Daniel takes her to her home, and she was going to leak one of the things, but she doesn't because she sees the pictures that his father wasn't there, the connection with his mother, and stopped. But the way their conversation ends, I can see Daniel doing something, and I think he has to. If we want to feel the weight or something with that character, that he is with the gang, he is with the Kingpin gang, he is with the wrong side. And I also saw a very good theory on Twitter that what if they brought Daniel to BB's house and see how BB's house is destroyed by Kingpin. And I think that could have been better because he could have seen what it is. But then at the same time, I think maybe the aim is to finish this character. It could be that. And going back on it, Buck and Heather's whole, there's a little portion where you can see Heather is emotionally, she's getting crazy. She's getting mentally crazy. And she wasn't in episode 4 or episode 5. We don't see her. In episode 4, maybe we see a bit, but episode 5, I know she wasn't there. And you can see she's getting crazy. She's getting crazy. And the whole sequence where Buck is there, and that's what I'm saying. Buck has become one of my favorite characters. Like the way he's just standing there and he's like, just, how does it feel when he was choking and she's doing it? And that whole sequence was so crazy. And yeah. So now going on to the actual one, Kingpin losing Vanessa. Like in episode 5, but episode 5 was a mixed match. Like you had flashbacks and you also had, and with the flashbacks, you can see they went back with the Netflix aesthetic and it was so good. Just not in nostalgia way. It was actually so nice to see that. And it also made us think why the Netflix adaptation was so special to us. The way, I think personally for me, my favorite episode so far of this whole series is episode 5. And it was just when you're remembering everything back. And also, like, in episode 6, even at the end of episode 5, I started feeling emotional for Kingpin, which is crazy. He's a bad guy. He's done worse stuff. What's happened to him, he's done to multiple people. But the way the episode 5 was whole, like Vanessa's coma, you're seeing those flashbacks, and it was so good. I think it was called the Grand Circle or something, and you understand it as well how each thing matched with each other because we'll go as well. Also on the other side, we see Foggy. We see a flashback of Foggy, and they are doing a case, and you can see how different Matt Murdock's ideology was before. In his younger ages, he was quite like violent. Punishment is punishment, but you can see the reason he he became what he is with this mercy side is because of Foggy. Foggy was a big character, big player with that. And you can see that in episode 5 is so beautifully done. And also with Kingpin, you can see one of his reasons he obviously still Wrath, but a reason he was a bit stable could be Vanessa. And Vanessa's gone. You can see he's gone out. He's lost his mind now. And for sure that's gonna harm him more than it will harm Daredevil. It's gonna harm him a lot. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like the end where Vanessa wakes up for a little bit, talks with him, and then dies. It was like, oh my god, that whole sequence was so good. And Vanessa Deforio played that so well. And it was amazing. Now let's going on episode 6 is the percussions of what's happened. In this episode, Kingpin does not talk once till Daredevil arrives. In the whole episode. And in the funeral scene, you can see when he leaves, the way he leaves, you know this guy's pissed off. This guy wants revenge. This guy wants to get Bullseye's head and Daredevil's head with it as well. He is here to go off. And even you can see with the there's a whole like protest going on as well. Like obviously they show that Vanessa's dead and stuff, but they're showing like protests going on, people are against it, and things are getting worse for Kingpin as mayor. And you can see the governor is quite like, oh shit, what's going on? 110% by the end of the season, Kingpin's gonna go off on his mayor seat. But I don't think that's the biggest question. The biggest question is what will happen to Kingpin, because we know with the leak that has happened that Daredevil's going to go to prison. But the main question is what's going to happen with Kingpin, because Karen says you have to kill Kingpin. It's like a thing that it goes. And I love the way they've shown Karen's character as well in this whole season, and how she is a bit like, she's like, the Weasley's death haunts her, but at sometimes she doesn't feel regret either, because it was her or him. And that's what she says to Daredevil as well. It's you or Kingpin. Kingpin is going to go after you. And also in this scene, I want to quickly talk about Karen's and Poindexter's conversation when, my God, she puts the gun. And in the whole thing, in episode 5 and episode 6, I forgot to talk about this, Bullseye wants to die. Matt Murdock is saving him because, again, as I said, with the flashback, where we see Foggy said mercy, and that's why he does it. That's why he does it. He nearly left Bullseye, but he came back because he had that memory that Foggy let the guy have a second chance. And that is the same mentality Matt Murdock has. And the reason behind that is Foggy. That is the main reason why he is like that. Because before that, he wasn't. Before that, you could just say he was similar to Punisher, or like punishment is punishment. And he didn't give a like two damns. But with the character of Foggy, that's where I think his sense of merciness came. Is how I analyze it throughout the whole seasons. But that's what I was gonna say with Karen putting the gun and then Daredevil coming in, and oh my god, that whole sequence was so well done. And what's her name? Andable, Sheev, what a performer she is as well. Everyone in the series, I will say they are amazing performers. And yeah, even that Daniel guy, he's good as well. Like, I'm excited for episode 7 because I know something mad's going to go down. And then we go with the peak fight sequence against King. Oh, shit. So much happened in episode 6. So much stuff has happened. I've only talked about 5th. This is going to be a long video, so I think so. Episode 6. Also, Jessica Jones has been finally arrived. Obviously, we already know from the trailers. They also hinted in episode 1. She has finally came. You could see the introduction of her was, I was like, what the hell's going on here? Like, there's this kid and some officers come. They're not the vigilante task officers. I think it's the other guy. I forget his name. The guy who's in the factory and everything and giving arms and stuff. I think it's something to do with him. And Jessica Jones' appearance is there. She kicks everybody out, and then she comes to her home, and then we see her kid as well, which I think is her and Luke Cage's kid. And then she goes to Daredevil, meets up with him, and then they go into this arms place, whack some people. Then that guy comes, or that the guy I hate the most, from the main guy of Vigilante Task Force. I forgot his name. He comes in, but the only thing I was like, she was literally smashing everyone. She smashed the door. Why when she punched her head, she went on the floor? That is a question. Like, is he getting like strong? What is he doing? Is he doing something to himself? Because in the last season, Daredevil literally beat the shit out of him. And Jessica Jones is very powerful. We saw it like in the season, the show as well. She's powerful. She literally destroys a bloody door, and the other vigilante task force, she's like whacking them away. So why does she not able to hit him? So I'm quite excited. Hopefully they reveal that in seventh. I think her role will be seen more in the next two episodes, and this was more like there's the introduction, there's the stuff with her. And then going on to the Kingpin and Daredevil fight, as I was already talking about, was so amazing. And the conversation was so good. I love the shadow work they did, where his like the first show his shadow on his face, and he's like, "You are here now." And they're first talking, and then Kingpin gets angry, smashes him, and I love the peak detailing they've done, where he smashes him and put through the art wall, and you can see like in the season 3 the art wall got bloody, and this one it got ripped. And I think the reason they show that is because Vanessa's gone now. Yeah, Vanessa is done. She's gone, and I think that's what this one is symbolizing. That the painting that he got, because that was literally the start of their relationship. Was that painting? That's where everything came, where it started. He went there for that reason. And you could say one of the reasons was it could be due to Foggy. If Foggy did not help him not go to prison, maybe Vanessa and Kingpin never would have met, because Kingpin had the idea to invest in Bitcoin, but then he decided to, now let's just go to the art gallery because of what all of that happened. So it could be that. But as I was saying, their whole fight sequence, and I just love it at the end where Daredevil kicks him, he's on the floor, and he's like, I know you will not kill me. And I was like, oh my God. And that's the thing. We all know Daredevil is not going to kill him. So this fight is going to keep on going. And that's why I want to see what resolution are they going to go. Because most likely in the comic books, it's usually Kingpin and Daredevil's fight. Other villains come, like Bullseye, had the hand, and for a little bit and stuff like that. But the main stuff goes around with these two. So are they just gonna go with that, or in other universes, things have happened where he has died? It's most likely. So are they gonna go that route? Because Secret Wars is coming, they can reboot it and bring back Kingpin like nothing happened, like, you know. So I am excited what they are gonna do, because it's gonna be very good. I genuinely think it's gonna be he's gonna go to jail, and obviously Murdoch's gonna go to jail as well. And also at the end we saw again that guy, I don't know his name, the main leader of Vigilante Task Force, pulls a gun on Karen. I think most likely Jessica Jones will come and save her, or I want to see her fight. I don't want to see that. I want to see her fight, because in the first episode we saw her training. So come on, show us like some comeback, like at least show us something that we're like, oh, okay, her training is worth here. Because then it's just gonna be like, okay, why would, like, you know, I want to see Karen fight, because if you showed her in the first two episodes boxing, we need to see her fight. So I want to see Karen in action. Please, please, in the next two episodes, you show us that. So overall, that was episode 5 and episode 6. I know this has been a long video, but if you enjoyed, please like, share, subscribe, and I can't wait for episode 7. Till then, peace, and comment down below, how are you finding Daredevil Season 2 Born Again?